The shepherd of King Admetus. The python, however, was the son of Mother Earth, and in killing it, Apollo had become a murderer. Since Apollo was the very god who would one day hold the power to absolve repentant killers of their sins, his first duty was to cleanse himself from the guilt of his own crime, even though it had been blessing to gods and men alike. And so, casting off his mortal form, he went to Thessaly, where he became a humble shepherd in the service of King Admetus of Pheræ. Thus the golden-haired youth tended to royal flocks, and nobody, not even Admetus himself, suspected that the young herdsman was Apollo, god of light. Yes, strange things would happen whenever Apollo took his master herds to graze. Whenever the god picked up his lyre and let his fingers play upon its strings, the wild beast would come out of the forest as if entranced and gambol around him joyfully, mingling with the cows and sheep. From the time of Apollo's arrival, wealth and happiness began to flow into the courts of Admetus. His flocks multiplied, his storerooms filled with sacks of grains, and his great urns overflow with olives and wine, oil and butter. From the walls and roof beams hung heavy bags of cheese, legs of ham, and other foods, all of the choicest quality. Handsome young Admetus rejoiced in the plenty that he saw around him. Mounted upon his white stallion, he would ride out over the plain, admiring his herds, his sleek and well-muscled horse galloping over the rolling turf, and his powerful oxen dragging the plough deep through the fertile soil. Many kings now wanted Admetus as their son-in-law and offered him their daughters. But he loved only Alcestis, the lovely daughter of Peleus, king of neighboring Iolcus. Peleus, however, had no intention of marrying his daughter off, for who else was there to tend his old age? So he declared that he would only give his daughter away to a man who could harness a lion and a wild boar to his chariot. How could anyone yoke together two wild beasts so different and so savage, when till now no one had dared to try joking one alone? Admetus, however, was so emboldened by his love for the sweet Alcestis that he was willing to risk being torn to pieces by the savage beasts. And when Apollo heard of his brave decision, he resolved to help him and gave him the strength he would need to achieve his aim. Thus the daring Admetus performed the mighty feat Peleus had demanded, and now he was thundering along the road to Iolcus, his chariot harnessed to a lion and a wild boar. Overcome with awe at the brave young man's incredible feat, Peleus handed over his daughter without protest. Alceste took her place in the chariot of Admetus, brought her in triumph back to his palace, where a sumptuous wedding was celebrated. 9 years Apollo had bound himself to serve Admetus, and when the 9th year drew to its close, the golden-haired god returned to Delphi, purified at last. From then on, Apollo was to be the god of the great and noble ideal of forgiveness, offering his protection to every man who showed sincere and true remorse.